I'm going to try this again. My last stream, I went on and it seemed like there were some technical difficulties, so I shut it down. Here we're back. I hope somebody comes, but if they don't, we'll see. Anyway, I wanted to talk about some business stuff. I'm sorry this is a repeat from anybody who saw this, but I got some questions, and I always get sort of persistent questions about what it is that I'm getting the same fucking error. I'm going to have to shut this down. Maybe my internet's out. Is anybody seeing this? Oh, this guy says it's way better. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna wing it. I might be talking into the void here. Let's try it. Anyway, I wanted to talk about my business in general. A lot of people are confused. I always get questions of like what it is that I do, which I thought is pretty clear. I buy and sell watches. But I do it in a little bit of a different way. And I basically, okay, good. People are saying it's working. Good. I have an error here that says it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So anyway, it's throwing me off, but I'm trying. Okay, so the one way that I approach it differently is I really do try to stick to what it is that I like. So there's a lot of ways to make money in this business. You know, there's so many Rolexes and Patek Philippe's and Audemars Piguet and Richard Mille's and, you know, if you spend the time looking for a watch that you can buy for X dollars and sell for X plus a little bit, you can make a full living in this business in a lot of different ways. That to me just has never been super interesting, and I just don't like that. I don't really like the luxury part of the business or the kind of lifestyle part of the business. And so for me, I've focused on the stuff that I really like, and that gets me excited. Basically, I get to just go sort of dream shopping. This is the stuff that I would buy. And then I always kind of think like worst case scenario, if the complete watch market ends and you know there's no buyers left, I just stick with whatever's in my safe, and that's my watch collection for the end of the day. So that's kind of how my business is structured. Know my one little sandbox really, 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 really well, and buy what I like, you know, and buy it at a price where I can make a little bit more and feed my family. So that's the very short answer of what I do. Now, one day, I do get a lot of questions on like how I got into the business, my history, how other people can do it, you know, these sorts of things, which I don't have good answers on other things because my circumstances were a little bit unique. But I think one day I may make a standalone video of just like my start to finish in watches. It seems really boring to me. It might be really boring to the rest of you. And so please, if I do it, don't watch it if you think it's boring. But at least then I'll have one video that I can just send as my answer to this question that I get often. But within this, I've learned a lot. And so some of the things that I've learned into how to kind of make this business work, first of all, you have to have a really good feel for the overall market. There's not a lot of help in the indie market, and I do get questions as to like how to price certain things. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to just a general feel that you get over many repetitions and just years of doing this stuff, and also connections that you make in the business. So, you know, I have certain friends that I know to ask about certain watches that they may have bought and sold one more recently, or they just also have a good sense, and so I like to bounce things off of them. But stuff like that you have to earn. You can't just always ask people questions that are that's their expertise. That's how they make their money. And so that's kind of a pet peeve that I've got a little bit, is people come into my email, people that I don't know, people that I don't really owe any goodwill to whatsoever, and they are asking me to help them value something, or their an opinion of a deal that they're going to do or whatever. And to me, this is my job. I spend my entire life trying to figure out this information and then use it in such a way that it becomes an actual job for me. So to expect that as a kind of out of the blue, just I'm going to do your thinking for you with my lifetime of knowledge is a little bit wild. Another thing that I've learned is I used to go way out of my way to try to buy watches back from my customers at a price where that maybe they would lose about 10%. That was my kind of overall feeling of what would keep repeat deals and make things fair. And then I try to work on about a 10% margin. So in theory, sell a watch for 60 grand, buy it back for 54, sell it for 60 grand again. That's all good business. But a lot of times somebody would come back and the watch, for whatever reason might be worth 50, right? And for a long time, I still would try to buy it back for 54 if I could, just for the kind of goodwill that it earned me. And then came the last few years where almost every watch I've ever sold was immediately worth like way more than I sold it for. My customers were making way more money than I was, and they're not watch dealers. I'm coming down to work every day. I would have been better off if I just took the 2018 to 2020 off and just kept all the watches and sold them later. Well, what I learned in this time was that none of my customers felt the same amount of goodwill to me. They weren't going to sell me a watch for $1 less than it was worth. None of them said like, Steve, thank you so much for selling me this watch for 60. Now that it's worth 90, I'd like to sell it back to you for 75 and, a reasonable profit or something like that. They all want, boo, 90. Maybe I'm generous and I get that you can make money, so 85 or something. But all of these people that I had gone way out of my way for years and years to worry about their end of it certainly didn't look for mine at all. So it's not a complaint. It's totally understood. It's human nature and it's really fair. It's totally fine. But, now people say, I get this a lot, like, okay, if I buy this watch, am I going to lose money on it? Or how much are you going to buy it back for? This, that. And my answer used to be, okay, I'm going to try for a minus 10%. That's fair. You wear it, you lose 10%. It's fair. My answer now is, I have no idea. We've seen a lot of volatility in the market. You may come back to me and want 50% more. I may come back to you and want to pay 30% less. Who the heck knows? We're all living day to day in this, and apparently, we've all learned that we fight for ourselves here. Now, I do have some really fair, really good repeat customers, and we kind of look out for each other a little bit more. And those are my favorite people to deal with. And I know that I can always, sell them a watch for maybe a little bit less, buy back for a little bit more. We're going to do a lot of repeat business, and they're, always happy for me at the end of the day to make money, feed my family. They get great watches, they get good deals. And those are the best kinds of relationships. And they definitely do happen. There are a lot of people like that. I'm blessed because I focus in this area that's so kind of specific, such a like connoisseur area, that I actually probably have a higher percentage of that type of customer than most watch dealers. But it takes time to get to that. So, when I have people coming into my email like making me super lowball offers or whatever, I don't need to sell a watch to anybody. I'm never in a hurry. I don't care you've had this for a while. Why don't you take 40% less than your asking price? I'm like, that's the quickest way to turn me off on a deal. I don't care. I buy good watches. There's always a buyer for the watch at the end of the day. I don't need to sell any specific watch to, pay my mortgage. And so, the best way to approach it with me is, come on, let's do a deal. Bring a good offer to the table. I'm happy to do a deal with you. We do a couple, we do a few. Maybe things get a little bit easier. We learn how each other does business. We learn that we can do these things, and each person is getting a good, fair part of the deal. And so I would urge people, this is the best way to do business, not only with me, not only in the watch world, but in whatever your job is. Come at it, realize whoever's sitting on the other side of the table, they need to make money too. They're not doing this for their health. It shouldn't be an adversarial relationship. We're trying to come up with something fair. And if you do this over and over again, you end up living in a world where you're getting better stuff at better deals all over the place. And so, people complain about kind of like the rich get richer. I see some of my best customers ending up with the best stuff at the best deals. And the answer is that these people are successful and they have really nice stuff for a reason. They're generally super lovely people, and they are generous. And they don't look at the other side of the table. They're happy for you to make money, and they're happy to get something at a fair deal for them as well. So I would urge you, if you're going to fire me off an email, trying to buy something or whatever, take a second before you do it and realize I'm a human being. Don't be rude, is what I'm saying. I've noticed more like just emails, things that I get, and I'm like, F this guy. I don't need to do business with a person. So so that brings me to one more thing. A lot of times I get people saying the following things. I love your videos. I'd love to support you in some sort of way. I love your video. I bought it, but they didn't. If you want to, these are very easy to marry. These two things. This is my. It's something that I don't have a lot of time in watches in general, and I love people buying good stuff rather than buying crap. So, if you bought a good watch, I'll give you that. Bringing this to you. Okay, let's look at the watch quickly, right? This is what I think quickly becoming like watches that there possibly could be. People are going for Grubel, I think, is gaining in popularity. People are still going for the sport watches. S2 here, which is incredible. So people are put off by like this watch is not. Perfect watch. This watch is incredible. It looks incredible on. It's super comfortable. I wish that I could just take it off and wear it myself, but unfortunately, right now, to just buy and hold, end up doing. Man, I'm gonna have it on my. This thing is killer. Anyway, if you don't know, this of course is a Grubel 4C double tourbillon technique. Show you. School kit. It just particular. I like the, but man, the black one is killer. If I've got any, yep. Oh, so I get a lot of questions of my opinion of this, that watch, blah, blah, blah. This is one of the reasons why I make this video. I'm getting a lot of error. Video got choppy again. Shoot. I'm just going to keep at this point. So, this or that, what do I think about this? What do I think about that? And really,